What is the point of writing assignments?
Oh yeah, famous student lament. I'm sure I've said that as well in my time, 100 years ago. Okay, it's a test. It's interesting, if I draw a parallel with being a social worker, one of the most fundamental skills that you have and processes that you need to develop, certainly, and often social workers are weak on, is actually assessment. So if we think of assignment being an assessment, it's really important part of what you'll be doing. So in social work, we're assessing, we're testing your ability to absorb the information that's taught, to process it, and then to be able to hopefully augment it with your relevant reading, etc., etc., etc. It's also about embedding the teaching and the learning. It's as a part and parcel of your ongoing practice later. So Kaylee, as a social worker, has to read reports, she has to record information. She has to be able to discern what's helpful and what's not helpful, what's useful and not useful, what's relevant, what's waffle, etc., etc. And we are learning these things on social work. We've learned some of this before coming on to college or university and social work programs, but we're hopefully fine-tuning and honing these skills in relation to that. It also reminds you, if you don't mind me saying, lots of students are just, we're all people, but lots of students will have anxieties around assignments. And actually, most of it is about themselves rather than about the work first. Like that, I actually think that's true of all of us. We don't really like people watching us unless we've set that up in a certain way. Maybe, I don't know, a nice outfit and working out and wearing it, thinking it would be nice if people complimented us on it. But generally, we don't like to feel scrutinized or under pressure unless we think we're going to do well. So that anxiety tends to be to the fore, and we project that onto assignments or other written work. That's going to be part and parcel of your social work career. You're going to be assessed, you're going to be looked at, you're going to be watched, you're going to be appraised. You know, social workers will be doing that, your colleagues, managers, carers, service users, etc., etc. And maybe a final point is, if the course was easy, sure, anybody would be on it and doing it. The course has to be challenging. And part of it is we have to set written work to see, are you able to cut the mustard? Are you able to perform at a level? Now, in the social work programs I'm involved in, the students are not on placement until second year. So they complete this. And this is part and parcel of us at least testing the robustness, you know, and also we're putting you under pressure a bit. I mean, it's not a sort of Machiavellian thing, but you've got to be able to deal with pressure. And you know this, Kaylee, as a social worker. Pressure's a big part of it. And a big pressure is your ability to write. I mean, social work's about, can you talk the walk? Can you walk it? Can you write about it and communicate about it? And they're all challenging. Now, one of those is more important to me than all of them. However, for the modern social worker, they need to be able to do it, talk about it and write about it. And actually, disproportionately, much more of it is about talking and writing about it than actually doing it. That's the place that we are now. But anyway, hopefully that helps.
That's brilliant. Sorry, I was just going to say, sometimes writing does help you think in a more concise and articulate way. And sometimes you are so under pressure. You might be in a meeting where there's 30 people looking at you as the social worker and wanting a response. And it does make you actually feel good that you can give a good answer, even if you're not going to give an answer. It's just knowing how to say that, or recognizing and thinking quickly.
And you're prepared. You've planned it and you've prioritized what's going to be said if you've got a minute, what's going to be said if you've got 5, and what's going to be said if they're going to interrogate your report. You know, you're ready. And I talk about inculcating readiness, and that's a lot of hard work. But then you're ready. But like in class, sometimes you ask questions. Often students say later, I knew the answer to that. And I go, well, no, you didn't, because obviously I did. I said, well, I never knew that. And they go, I know, but. I said, what's the but? I didn't want to say. Now, I just want to hit a wee myth on the head here, if I can, actually. I haven't intended this one, but just often when I say to students, why did you not share that? I also do this with my work in practice and with professionals, etc. Say, why did you not say it? They went, oh, you know, I was just a wee bit afraid or whatever. And I said, of what? And they usually say the teacher or the manager or whatever it is. And I say, that's nonsensical. No, because if I could have caught and videoed it like you're doing with me at the minute, I would have said I would have just picked up quickly. If I could anticipate you're going to say something, can't read people's minds, but if you could, I would then have watched and tracked where your eyes were, and I guarantee your eyes weren't looking at me or the person in that position. They were looking around you. It's our peers that we fear censure from more often than the teachers, the lecturers, the managers, etc., etc. We're concerned about how they will be. And try and think of yourself sitting in a classroom. You're really more bothered, by what your peers might say to you than you were a lecturer or whatever. Anyway, but just a point.
Yeah, but no, that's a good point.